Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show. I am your host, as always, for every Sunday at 2 o'clock adventure into real estate. I am David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. So today we are about halfway into February, which means that we have received the January real estate update. Well, they consider it, they say it's February, but it's for January. It goes up through January. So that is important. So I believe this is important. It's great education. It's great knowledge to have about how the real estate market is going into this year, and of course how it ended last year will also be uh, in this report as well. Before I get started, though, I am David Hittle. I am a realtor with United Real Estate Louisville. We have offices all over the country and all over the world. So if you have a real estate need, I would be the man who would be able to help you with that. I would be your agent, your bestie agent, however you'd want to say it. I would be happy to help, and I will be here for you if you need me. My contact information, if you do need me, is in the description of the video. And if you have any interest whatsoever in real estate, I only ask that you click that button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen that says subscribe and become a subscriber of Shopkentuckyhomes and the David Hittle Real Estate Show that we have here every Sunday at 2 o'clock. We don't do radio. We do YouTube. We do live video. We try to beat out the competition. So according to the report, the biggest thing on the report, existing home sales. Now, these are homes that already existed. They were built before 2020 and they were for sale. Existing home sales totaled 5.64 million in 2020, up 5.6% from 2019, and the most since before the Great Recession. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 5.64 million is the total existing homes that were sold in 2020, despite the pandemic, despite the coronavirus, despite the travel restrictions, despite all of the restrictions that were put in place by the federal government, the state government, the local government. The total number of existing homes that sold in 2020, 5.64 million, and that was up from 2019 before we even had a pandemic. Those numbers brought to us by the National Association of Realtors. So the forecasts that were presented to us, Fannie Mae said we would do 6.47 million. So obviously we were off from that. National Associations of Realtors predicted 6.45, MBA 6.46. That's the Mortgage Bankers Association. So all of them were in the 6 million, but I don't believe any of them predicted a pandemic would come and shut down the country. However, for 2021, they are predicting even better numbers. Fannie Mae is predicting that 2021's transaction forecast will be 6.71 million. The National Association of Realtors is saying 7.5 million. And the Mortgage Bankers Association is saying 7.18 million. So we're looking anywhere between the high sixes and the middle sevens million homes transactions done this year. Home price forecaster. Now, this is all over the map. The average home price forecaster projection is 5%. So all 7 of these companies and all 7 of these industries, these organizations, are predicting an average home price increase of 5%. 5% for 2021. So that would mean, for instance, for an example, if your home was worth $100,000 at the beginning of 2021, these industries are predicting that your home will increase to $105,000 by the end of the year. For 200,000, that would be 210, 300,000, 315. You get the picture. 5% is the average. The National Association of Realtors is projecting a 6% increase. Zelman and Associates, a 6% increase. Realtor.com says 5.7, so basically 6%. Freddie Mac is saying 5.3. Mortgage Bankers Association 5.1. Fannie Mae 4.2. And CoreLogic has cut their prediction back yet again. They're usually the most conservative with their numbers. They usually shoot way low and wind up being wrong. But CoreLogic 2.9%, about 3, is what these industries are projecting for home price increase this year, which is great. Any increase is great. Mortgage rates, that is what we are concerned with. Will mortgage rates start to increase? Will they stay where they're at? Will they flatline? The projections is that by the end of 2021, mortgage interest rates will be back at the 3% level. So we're currently at 2.73, and the prediction is that by the end of 2021, we will see 3% mortgage interest rates again. 2022's projection is going 3 and above. They are indicating that this is Freddie Mac, predicting that by the end of 2022, mortgage interest rates will be back at 3.2%. So for comparison's sake, at this time last year, so this time 2020, February of 2020, we were at 3.45%. So they are predicting, Freddie Mac is predicting, that by the end of 2021, we will see 3% again, and that by 2022, we will see 3.2% or higher by that time. Mark Fleming, who's the chief economist at First American, says that rising interest rates will reduce house buying power and affordability, but it is often a sign of a strong economy, which will also increase home buyer demand. So we have to think about that. Think about that. Try to get your head around that. Rising interest rates will cause home buying power and home buying affordability to be reduced. However, rising interest rates are a sign of a strong economy. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not going to say that Mark Fleming is wrong. He's a chief economist. I'm just a realtor. But over the past 4 years, we had a very strong, very booming economy, and our interest rates were actually going down, not up. So, I have to think, is that accurate? Are rising interest rates a sign, and he says often a sign, but is rising interest rates at this point going to be a strong sign of a strong economy or a sign of a strong economy? That I kind of sort of take issue with. Mortgage rate projections, again, as I was saying, the average of all 4, that's what I'll give you. It's Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association and the National Association of Realtors. But the average of all four by quarter two of 2021, they are predicting 2.92%. So that would be almost a 20th of a percentage point increase. That translates into thousands of dollars over 30 years. By Q3, quarter three of 2021, they're all predicting 3.02%. So they are predicting that by quarter three, we should see that 3% rise again. That 3% will get to us again. By quarter four, 3.07. And by quarter one of 2022, 3.17. Again, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars from 2.73 all the way to 3.17. You are talking hundreds of thousands of dollars difference there. And I can do those calculations for you, but not while I'm in the middle of a show. So where will listings come from in 2021? That is an important question. In Louisville yesterday, Louisville, Kentucky yesterday. That comprises all of Jefferson County, everything that has been sucked into the Louisville, Kentucky bubble. We had a little over 1,200 homes on the market. 1,200 homes on the market as of yesterday. When we added Lexington to that mix, we went from about 1,200 up to about 2,600. Very, very short supply of inventory on the market. So where will listings come from? Where will homes for sale come from in 2021? Ali Wolf, the chief economist at Zonda, says some people will feel comfortable listing their home during the first half of 2021. Others will want to wait until the vaccines are more widely distributed. So her thoughts on it are people are still worried about the coronavirus, and that is preventing them from wanting to sell their homes. It very well could be. It very well could be that that is the case. She goes on to say this suggests more inventory will be for sale in late 2021 and into the spring selling season of 2022. So all of the industries are predicting still very, very strong housing transactions for 2021. However, they are indicating, or Ali Wolf, chief economist at Zonda anyway, is predicting that more will become available later in 2021 and into the next year in the spring selling season. So, looking at this from a national point of view, here in Louisville, Kentucky first, here in the Louisville Lexington market, we are at 1.26 months of inventory. A nice, stable housing market is 6 months. Having 6 months worth of housing inventory is considered a stable market. Anything above 6 becomes a buyer's market. Currently, we are in a seller's market. We are under 6 months. Nationwide, we currently sit at 1.9 months of inventory nationwide of existing homes. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, as I said, 1.26 months. So the National Association of Realtors says that total housing inventory at the end of December totaled 1.07 million units, which was down 16.5% from November and down 23% from 1 year ago. 1 year ago, we were at 1.39 months. Unsold inventory sits at an all-time low of 1.9 months supply at the current sales rate, down from 2.3 months in November and down from the 3-month figure that was recorded in December of 2019. So that is low. We are at record low unsold inventory at this point in time, according to the National Association of Realtors. So, looking at the percentage of workers who are working from home, and this may tie into why there are so many homes being bought right now. In 2019, the percentage of workers who were working from home was 6. 6% of workers were working from home. By 2020, we're at 21%. That is a big jump. So 21% for 2020. The projection, the forecast for 2021 is that will drop a little to 18%. And then by 2022, it will drop again to about 12%. But still at 12%, it's double what 2019 was. People who are working from home are finding that their homes are smaller than they thought. Their homes are smaller than they imagined. They think about maybe they moved into a neighborhood that had a park nearby, but nobody wanted to take their kids to the park, or nobody wanted to walk in the park, or nobody wanted to take their dog to the park during the height of the coronavirus pandemic. So now people are thinking about what they need in their home to make it their dream home, or to make it the home that fits their needs now. And that is more space, a bigger backyard, more space in general is what people are looking for now. And that is one big reason why home buyers are out there in force, buying up almost everything as soon as it hits the market. It is amazing what is going on. Joel Kane, who is Mortgage Bankers Association's assistant vice president of economic and industry forecasting, goodness, these titles, says that new home sales activity, both mortgage applications and home sales, ran at a pace considerably ahead of 2019, showing the ongoing strong growth in housing demand and new residential construction. That is the issue, is that while homeowners are not immediately putting their homes on the market, home builders are trying to compensate, are trying to get more homes built so that they can keep up with the demand. It's a supply and demand everywhere. Everything. Our economy is run on supply and demand. The demand right now is for homes, but the supply of homes is low, incredibly low, even with new construction. So that is an important factor in all of this, and why mortgage interest rates are low, and why home prices continue to go up, and why home buyer demand is still soaring, even though a pandemic just blew through our country last year and is still brewing today. But it's all because of what is happening to the populace right now. Three reasons. The top 3 reasons. This was a YouGov survey. The top 3 reasons home buyers didn't put their house on the market in 2020. Number 1 answer was life is too uncertain right now. That was the number 1 answer. Life is too uncertain right now. You had to think about that. In 2020, you're thinking, are you going to lose your job? Are you going to get furloughed? Maybe you're working in an industry or an industry that got shut down. You can't do it. Like restaurants, a lot of states shut down their restaurants. Said you couldn't open a restaurant, or you had to densely or undensely pass the population. Everybody had to be 6 feet apart, had to put up barricades and cantina wire and everything to prevent people from touching each other because they might spread a disease throughout your restaurant. So 34%, according to the survey, life is too uncertain right now. 31% financial uncertainty. Those two tie together. Life is too uncertain. Don't know if I'll have a job tomorrow. Don't know if I'll have a job next week. Don't know if I'll have a job next month. I don't know if I'm going to get sick and have to get laid off. I don't know what's going to happen. Life is too uncertain. And all of that is tied into my financial uncertainty as well. I don't know where my next paycheck is coming from. I don't know if I'll get another paycheck because life is too uncertain right now. And then all of that gets tied into number 3, which was 25% COVID-19 health concerns. So all of that is tied in together. The top 3 reasons homeowners didn't put their house on the market in 2020 is, for the most part, all tied to COVID, all tied to the coronavirus, making life uncertain and making financial life uncertain as well. So, speaking about the forbearance plan, this was something that the government was very smart in doing when they did it. And it was good. I'm glad that they did it. It protected Americans who, through no fault of their own, could not pay their mortgage. It wasn't Americans or America's fault that the coronavirus arrived and ruined a perfectly good economy. So the government, in its wisdom, actually has some of that sometimes, in its wisdom, decided to make sure that homeowners could not be thrown out of their house because they could not make their payments due to the coronavirus. So they instituted a forbearance plan. So here are the results so far, and this is through January 24th of 2021. Upon exit from their forbearance plan, 51.7% paid their mortgage off in full. That's awesome. That is amazing. Over half of homeowners who got into a forbearance plan because they were having trouble making their mortgage payments because of the coronavirus, 51.7% paid their mortgage off in full. 33% worked out a repayment plan, and 15.3% are still in trouble. So looking at the pie chart, 28.6% made their monthly payments during their forbearance period, 7.5% paid off the loan, and 15.6% past due payments were brought current. So that's what they meant by paying in full. 7.5% paid off their loan completely. Good for them. 28.6% made their monthly payments during their forbearance period, and then 15.6% were past due on payments but brought them to current. 25.5% who were working it out took a loan deferral. 7.5% did a loan modification. So either refinance or a loan modification to prevent them from losing their home. 13.4% had no loss mitigation plan. So they had no idea what they would do if they lost their home. They had no idea what to do at that point. And 1.9% went into repayment plans, either sold their home short or gave the bank their deed in lieu of foreclosure and in lieu of losing their home. So it's big. Lawrence Young, chief economist at National Association of Realtors, says, given the huge price gains recently, I don't think many homes will have to go to foreclosure. I think homes will just be sold and there will be cash left over for the seller even in a distressed situation. So that is a bit of a silver lining in that we don't expect a massive sale of distressed properties. So what is the affordability in today's real estate market? The affordability in today's real estate market. Well, it's pretty good because interest rates are still low. According to the Housing Affordability Index, and this goes all the way back to 1990, a year after I was born. Aww. Back in 1990, the Housing Affordability Index was 108. 108 was the Housing Affordability Index in 1990. It ran all the way up to 138 in 2008. In 2009, it spiked to 169. It then increased to 172, and then 186, and then 197. And then this thing called the housing bubble popped. Now, are we in a housing bubble now? No. Not in my opinion. We're not in a housing bubble because the availability of credit is nowhere near where it was back in those days. Back in those days, mortgage lenders were giving loans to people who could not afford them, who could not afford to pay them back. They were doing subprime loans. Those lenders were selling their bad mortgages to other people, and it was a huge mess. The government stepped in after that and said, you cannot do this anymore, and made the restrictions harder. So by the end of 2015, the index was at 166. It was at 167 in 2018 or 2016. 2017 it dropped to 158. 2018 148, and it is now starting to climb back up again. It is currently today at 168.2. So housing affordability is actually better today, better in 2020 than it was in 2019. That is good for people who want to buy homes. The percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment is also decreasing dramatically because of the mortgage rates. You have to look at that. June of 2018, the percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment was about 18.2%. By today, it's 14.9%. The historical norm is 21.2%. So historically, the homeowner would spend about 21.2% of their income on their mortgage payment. That's been the historical trend. Today, it's just under 15%. That is because mortgage rates are dropping dramatically. So looking at the typical mortgage payment, and this is the typical mortgage payment used for this chart, represents the inflation adjusted monthly payment based on U.S. median sales and assumes a 20% down payment, a fixed rate of 30%, and Freddie Mac's average monthly rate. It does not include taxes or insurance. So, with that being said, in January of 2000, the typical mortgage payment was $1,100. By June of 2006, that had jumped to $1,309. By January of 2012, it had dropped to $575. That's during that housing crisis where everybody's house was very, very cheap and home values were low. By June of 2018, $962. June of 2019, $878. And today, $826. So the typical monthly payment is falling. That's huge. Odetta Cushy, the deputy chief economist at First American, says that once you include the equity benefit of price appreciation, owning made more sense, more financial sense than renting in 48 out of the 50 top markets, with the only exceptions being San Francisco and San Jose, California. So in San Francisco, you're probably better off renting because homes are extremely expensive. Same with San Jose. You're better off renting than paying the just astronomical prices of homes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So the quote of the month, I guess, is from Donald Miller. People do not follow the best leaders. They follow the ones they can understand the easiest. So I hope that is what I do with these shows every week. I hope that I am providing this information in a understandable way, and I hope that I am helping someone. Even if it's just one person, I hope I'm helping someone out there know or learn or understand better the real estate market and the financial circumstances and financial benefits and advantages and all that of owning a home. Because we're not San Francisco, we're not San Jose. So here in Louisville, Kentucky, it is better to own your home than it is to rent your home by far. So here's what I'll do for you. This will be fun. If you are in the Louisville, Kentucky area or the Louisville, Lexington area, wherever, if you're in Kentucky or you are thinking about possibly moving to Kentucky, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to do this anonymously. You don't have to give me any more information other than what you are currently paying in rent. That's all I want. All I want. I want anybody who's paying rent, who is interested in living or owning a home in Louisville or Kentucky as a whole, to send me an email with just a number if you want. Just tell me how much you pay in rent right now, and I will send you an email reply back telling you or giving you 5 homes that you could own today, or that you could own here soon anyway, for what you're paying in rent today. That's my challenge to you this week. Send me an email, shopkentuckyhomes at yahoo.com, with your rent mortgage or your monthly rent number. Tell me how much you pay in rent, and I'm going to send you up to 5 homes here in the area that you could own for the same price you are paying in rent. So that's my challenge to everyone today. So everyone, I thank you all for coming and joining me today. I know you're taking time out of your Sunday, and I greatly appreciate it. Please visit my website. It is shopkentuckyhomes.com. On there, you can search for homes. You can get a home valuation like that. You can contact me. You can communicate with me. However you want to get a hold of me, my blog is on there. Listings I have available are on there. But visit my website. If you're not a friend of mine on Facebook, join me on Facebook. David Hittle on Facebook. I'm the young one. There's an older one too. That'd be my father. But let's connect if you have any interest whatsoever in real estate, because I want to be here to help everyone that I can become a homeowner, chase the American dream. So thank everyone for listening today. Hopefully, I will see you back here next week. Same time, same place. Have a great day.